Hello, it's David Allen and you are watching Sporting Icons.
So news has just been released at midnight, so as of me making this video 45 minutes ago, that at the Victoria Warehouse in Manchester, Hughie Fury will return to the ring, which is great news. Now this will be shown on Channel 5, so that means anybody in the UK with a TV licence or the ability to watch TV, you can watch this one for free. So not Sky Sports, not BT Sport. It will be by Mick Hennessy as well. Now, I don't know if I've missed something. Is there some kind of issue with Mick Hennessy and Frank Warren, or the Furies and Frank Warren? I don't quite know what's going on with all that, because Hughie Fury used to fight on the Frank Warren shows, but lately he's been fighting on the Mick Hennessy one, so I'm not too sure what's going on. Maybe I've totally missed it, or maybe I've misjudged it all before, who knows. But anyway, it's good to see that Hughie Fury will be back, and it was only a couple of days ago I was thinking, what's happening with a Hughie Fury? We do know that he vacated the British heavyweight title, and of course the British Boxing Board of Control have ordered Joe Joyce versus Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois will be fighting on April the 27th. Will Joe Joyce wait for that fight to be done and then go fight Daniel Dubois next? Who knows what's going to happen. I'm not too optimistic about it happening, to be honest. But that aside, so with Hughie Fury vacating the British title, it's surprising in some ways, and it's just my honest opinion. I think that when he fought Joseph Parker, it was too early in his career. Maybe fighting Kubrat Pulev, again, too early in his career. But of course, things happened, especially with Kubrat Pulev. He got that cut, and I know that he's had microsurgery on it. So anyway, I mean, it's good to see him back. There's no opponent yet, but what kind of opponent can we expect? I would imagine it would be a Eastern European or something like that. We know that his dad and trainer, Peter, would love to get him back into a mandatory kind of challenging position or something like that. Because for me, I think it's quite clear that when it comes to British level, Hughie Fury is above that. Whether you like Hughie, whether you don't, whether you rate him, whether you don't, I think it's pretty obvious he's above British level. Is he world level of what we're seeing so far? No. And that's the truth of it. But that's not to say he won't be or he can't be. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole Shades of Ali thing for Mick Hennessy or anything like that. We know that Mick Hennessy's got the hump with me for some reason. Don't know why. I've never said anything bad about him. But he's doing well with Hughie, and I think Hughie is pretty much his flag bearer for his Hennessy Sports. And for me, listen, Hughie Fury is British, so he's always going to get support, all that kind of good stuff. And I am surprised that he has vacated the British title, because for me, I wouldn't mind seeing him in there with a Joe Joyce, a Nathan Gorman, a Daniel Dubois, a Dave Allen, that kind of thing, you know, and others, of course. So I wouldn't mind seeing that, because these kind of fights are learning ones. For me, I felt that the opposition that he was fighting before he fought Joseph Parker were a bit subpar. I always felt they were below British level. And when he went to Joseph Parker, listen, some people say that Hughie Fury won. For me personally, no, I think that Joseph Parker won that one. Listen, very, very close fight, that's for sure. But Hughie knows how to make a fight ugly, as in on purpose to frustrate the opponent, as in hit and not get hit, and he doesn't really get hit. Against Kubrat Pulev, again, bit early, potentially, but because of that cut, it changed everything. But who knows, even without the cut, maybe he would have lost anyway, we don't know. So he's not quite world level, but hopefully he will become, and he is kind of almost, a lot of people are throwing him on the trash heap. I can understand why they're saying it, but personally, listen, I think there's too much emphasis on undefeated records. And let's be honest, he's a very, very young man, and he shouldn't have been in there with Joseph Parker. He shouldn't have been in there with Kubrat Pulev, but he did step up, so big up to him for that one. Listen, I've always been a fan of his. I have been critical with the fact that I felt that he wasn't really injured when he should have fought Joseph Parker the first time, when the fight should have happened in New Zealand. I felt the whole thing with Frank Warren orchestrated with Mick Hennessy. That's what I felt. It didn't mean I was right, it just felt that I felt like that at the time. And just because he's British, I'm not going to defend him to the hilt or any boxer. But I always wish Hughie Fury well. I do like him, I like him a lot. I do rate him very highly. And hopefully the kind of level that he fights next, hopefully it might be for a European title. Who knows, maybe Ajit Kabiel or something like that. I mean, that would be great. As I said, I do believe he's above British level. That's not to say that any of the British guys can't give him trouble or potentially beat him. We don't know yet. And I do feel that while Hughie has all the skills and the evasiveness to his game, he just needs that power. I know Peter talks about he's coming into his man years. In other words, he's getting that man power, the man strength. For me, I can just see he needs to lift some weights. That's my honest opinion. If he can lift some weights and just add that little bit extra power, he'd be a very serious contender. It's his power that's letting him down. That's my honest opinion. And sometimes lack of punching. I don't know whether it's a lack of bravery, whether he's sticking to the tactics too far left field. Who knows? Who knows? But either way, he doesn't have an opponent for the Manchester fight as of right now, as I said. So who knows what kind of opponent he's going to have. Hopefully it'll be a decent one. Hopefully it'll be one that we recognise. It will be really, really nice. And I'd love to see him in there with some of the top guys there or thereabouts. I'm not saying go fight a top 5 or a top 10. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying that he could mix it with some of them. I mean, I'd like to see him against Ajit Kabiel, as I said. I'd like to see him in there with a Derek Chisora. Why not? Maybe a Ustinov, maybe. I mean, Ustinov is a bit over the hill now, so it's the kind of fight that he should win. But it's those kind of names, as in the ones that we've heard of. And if he does want to go the European kind of route, as I said, I think a Kabiel would be great. If he can maybe get Emmanuel Charr for the regular world title, who knows? Who knows? And I do feel that Emmanuel Charr may well take this fight. If he's allowed some kind of voluntary, he may take it in the hope that he beats Hughie to try and get Tyson for a big money fight. So he might do it. Emmanuel Charr is not the kind of fighter to risk his belt against somebody that he will believe is really dangerous, like a Dillian Whyte or something like that. Because obviously he wants the Anthony Joshua fight or a Tyson Fury or something like that. And he may look on Hughie Fury as a bit of a walkover. Personally, I think Hughie Fury beats him. That's my honest opinion. But anyway, as I said, we'll have to really wait and see what happens with Hughie. As I said, I mean, I can pull names out and from now until the morning. Makes no difference until they actually announce it. And again, it's good that Mick Hennessy and Hughie Fury is sticking with Mick Hennessy, and Peter Fury is sticking with Mick Hennessy as well. Because Mick Hennessy, it sounds awful, doesn't it? But it's almost like he's becoming a bit of the forgotten man. When at one time, he was up there with a Frank Warren. He was up there with Eddie Hearn. Not as far as financial goes, as far as the big shows go. That's not what I'm saying. But he was there on the TV. He was there for us to see. He was there. We knew what was going on. But lack of events means people just don't think about it. And a lot of people have forgotten that Hughie Fury is even there. I never forgot. And I've always wanted to see him back in the ring. The Kubrat Pulev thing, you could put down to injury. You could put down to he just let his head get, the occasion get to him. I mean, who knows? But I mean, he'll learn from it. And for me, a fighter losing a couple of fights here and there, it shouldn't make too much difference. But for a lot of people it does. There's a lot of emphasis on the O. It should never be that way. And I even said that after Joseph Parker. I felt that a lot of people were throwing Hughie Fury under the bus for the wrong reasons. But it wasn't necessarily because of Hughie Fury's negative performances at times. That's just how he fights. If you look at Tyson Fury, very, very similar. Of course, they've had the same trainer and trained alongside each other for a long, long time. I mean, hopefully these guys can reconcile at some point. But I just feel that Hughie, he can go on to achieve good things because he's young enough to. He just needs activity and the right fights. Fighting fighters that will get beaten by an average Brit is no good. That is not going to help Hughie. That's my honest opinion. I think maybe a fight with David Price, that would be a good one. I'd love to see that one. That'd be very, very interesting. And as I said, I think that if Hughie can add some strength to his game and just a tad more bravery. He's very brave. I'm not saying he's not. But I'm saying as in engage a lot more. Add a bit of power, engage a lot more. I think he's a very dangerous heavyweight. But if he doesn't, if he carries on fighting the way that he does and doesn't add some proper strength to his game. I know he sparked out Sam Sexton, but Sam Sexton is a bit of a journeyman, really, or gatekeeper, I should say. So he was always going to win that one anyway. But when you start stepping it up, that's when you need that power. You need to get the respect of your opponent. And right now, I don't think Hughie Fury has that. But hopefully, in all the time that he's been rehabilitating his wound, he's been adding a bit of man strength and doing a bit of not just conditioning, but some weight work. He needs to do some weights. Get a bit of muscle so he can put some zip into those shots. But anyway, as soon as he gets an opponent, of course, you guys will be the first to know. So anyway, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course, subscribe. Catch you all on the next one.